testing. Hey guys, come on in. I'm going to check my audio real quick. Yeah, I am. I'm hoping the audio is working. Let's see. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. Let's see. All right, we're going to be working on a journal. Just a minute. I want to make sure my audio is working before we jump right on in. So let me see.
And baby, if your grandma was...
All right.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Guys, well, this is what...
Let me try it without the headphones. All right. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I was just trying to check the audio to make sure we were good to go. And we're going to jump right on in. I wanted to just come on here really quick and share with you the process for making albums. But before we get started with the process, I did want to share with you a couple of albums that I have already made. So this is my signature album. And if you want to, I went ahead and put together all the measurements and things for you to follow along. You can click on the link and download the this cutting guide. It's very helpful. I even use it sometimes as I'm making my albums, just to be sure that I cut everything the way that it needs to be cut. So essentially, we go from just making this very generic album that you can just continue to add things to. And I just used cardstock and some chipboard or cardboard you could use to make this album. And so this very simple, plain album can become this amazing book that you use for a lot of different things. This particular one, I added some cardstock. This is Vicky Booten. I love her. She's my favorite because of all her bright colors. But I took this same simple album and then was able to customize it even further into something that I really liked. And this is very similar to like a traveler's notebook. So I use these bands for the binding for my books. That way I can continue to add things, take things out. So here, again, this is the exact same album that has the little pocket right here. I just took it and added paper to it. And then these are actually signatures. Just really simple. I took some colored cardstock, folded it in half, and popped a staple in the center. And then because I added these little bands to the book, I'm able to put in quite a few of these signatures. So you just slide it right in under the band. This is another one that I made just using different types of cardstock, and there's some watercolor paper, some mixed media paper. I printed a printable to add in this little booklet here, and then I've started already to like add some decorations and customizations to this book. But again, when I want to use this book, I don't have to take this whole album with me. I can just pull out the signature that I want to use. So it's super cool. I really like this particular style. I've made a couple of different signatures for this one. And then in this pocket, I'm able to just kind of put the things that I'm using for whatever the signature is. So that is this part of here. Again, there's the pocket that goes here, and then the elastic bands would just go here in the middle part. And then on this right side, this is where you can actually customize it even further. So like, this is what it looks like before it's decorated. It's just like a little fold out flap that I then just added some additional flaps to, just to make room if you want to add more space for journaling or pictures or anything like that. And then I just added these are actually magnets, so they're covered with double-sided tape so that when I actually decorate it, it'll stick. And then it has this little closure that the magnets snap together to close. And so what that looks like fully decorated over here is this closure, same thing. Okay, the magnets are underneath this paper and it folds out. So I added just even more space. Let me move this over. I've added even more space to put photos or journaling, or you can add pockets, like all the different things to this. This flaps up, this flaps down. Stuff here, if you wanted to add a pocket, a side pocket, you can add that as well. And then again, the closure, there's a magnet right here that when you close it, you just tuck it underneath and it closes it like a book. And so when this is fully together, all I have to do is just grab one of these elastic bands and just slide it under. And it holds quite a few. Like this is, I think this is 4 or 5 different ones that I added in here, but you can also like double them up on the bands. And so I'm going to use this for like some art journaling or some art, like mixed media art that I want to do, memory keeping. This particular one, I have media art that I want to do, memory keeping. This particular one, I subscribe to this Christian sticker company, and so every month they send me stickers around a particular topic of Bible study. And so my goal is to actually use these signatures as part of my Bible study, Bible journaling. So there. So that one is, we've already got in 1, 2, 3. We've got 4, and then again this one. So I only put 5 bands in the book. Okay. And then when they're all in there, it kind of closes and sits like this. So there's still tons of space to add more signatures here. So yeah, this is our, like, my signature journal. And again, it started just, this is what it looks like with the basic construction before you add anything to it. And then this is what it can look like once you've added all the decorations. So super cute, a lot of fun. So we're going to make one of these today. So again, so super cute, a lot of fun. So we're going to make one of these today. So again, if you're interested in making one, I did put all the measurements together in just this little one pager that you can download. Click on the link in the bio and it'll take you to where you can download these instructions that tells you the exact measurements of what we're going to do. So in terms of supplies, well, actually before I jump into that, I'm going to just show you some other journals that I've made using the same process. Okay, so if you know anything, like whenever you're journaling or scrapbooking or whatever, like there's tons of scraps left over. And so I wanted to like do something with the scraps. So I actually took and started to make some mini journals using the exact same process, just different measurements, using only my scrap pieces. So here is one I made. This is just leftover, same thing. Like here's the basic album construction, event, birthday, anniversary, and you capture photos, and then you want to just send them this little booklet in there. And then here is another flap on the other side again. And then here is another flap on the other side. Again, folds out, has a little pocket right here, just with some tags. This was made all here, just with some tags. This was made all using scraps. So you don't want to waste anything. I was able to put in a little pocket. And just some places to put a couple pictures. This is also the little closure where you can open it. This is also the little closure where you can open it and do some flaps there too. Little closure where you can open it and do some flaps there too. Just using scraps. Let's see what else we have. This one has some slightly larger scraps. This is very similar to that album, except this one is also kind of like a traveler's notebook. I added some eyelets to the outside of it. But then when you open it, and this one I use fabric instead of cardstock, upside down. Okay, so this one has a little side pocket. I had leftover black cardstock from another project. Bunch of leftover paper that I just stuck in the pocket to use for later. This one uses some of my favorite Amy Tangerine papers. And then this one, similar to that one, I used signatures, but I didn't staple because I'm thinking I'm going to do like different art projects or something with this. And so I can just slide the papers in and out of what I need. But this one, I didn't use elastic for these. I just used like, it's kind of like a shoestring material. And then I just tied it out of the way. And then in the back side, I added a flap up. And then this one actually folds out like an accordion. So you can also add some photos on both sides. And this was just using like one of those those fabric quarters that you get from different craft stores. Your little booklet. And then go from there. So yeah, super fun ways to make the album. This one, it's a different size. This is like a square album. Same concept though. And on this one, I just created different folds of paper. This one was not made with scraps. This one was cut intentionally. But again, if you have a bunch of different colors laying around, that process to make the actual album is all the same. And so that's kind of what I want to get you to understand, is that once you learn the basic foundation, then you can kind of create anything with it. So let's jump into it. First thing I'm going to do is just start with my, if you have cardboard, you can use cardboard. I like to use chipboard. Cardboard, you can use cardboard. I like to use chipboard. And I just ordered, this is Cricut heavy chipboard. I got it off of Amazon, and it comes 10 in here. So depending on the size of your album, you can essentially make 5 different albums, a minimum of 5 albums. But if we are following the instructions for our signature album, we are going to cut our pieces to 6.5 by 8.5, and then the spine is going to be a little bit, it's around 2 inches, but we're going to cut it just a little bit bigger to leave space. So let's start off with this. I purchased, because I do a lot of albums, I went ahead and purchased a heavy duty cutter, and it just makes my process go faster. But if you don't have a cutter, you can just measure it with a ruler and use your X-Acto knife to cut it. So this is going to be, we need one that's going to be 8.5. See how much easier that is? By 6.5. Okay, 6.5. All right, 8.5 by 6.5. And again, keep your scraps, because this one can actually become our spine. Okay, so we're going to cut this to, I believe it's 2 1/4. Yep. So okay, it's about right there. Okay, and then we need one more that is going to be 6.5 by 8.5. All right, so those are your 3 pieces. Now the next thing that you can do, and I'm gonna just make this a generic one. I'm not gonna use pattern paper just yet. But I have these large sheets of, and actually this is one right here. Let me see, can I just use this one? And what you want to do is you want to leave about 1 inch border around. Let's move these out the way. Okay. So you want to leave about 1 inch around. And then I've got this little tool that helps me measure. Actually, yeah. This will help you with the spacing, or you can just do like about 1/4 of 1 inch in between each piece. And then just go ahead and glue it down. My glue of choice is the Barely Art Precision Glue. You don't have to put too much on the back, because you do want it to have some room to move as the book opens and closes. Might have to change this nozzle. So this is just really to kind of tack it in place. My process. It's going to be a little bit different. Okay, and then the final piece. Okay, and then the final piece. This little tool is also helpful for lining everything up. Again, you don't have to have it, but if you're going to be making journals, I highly recommend. All right, and then just grab you some scissors, and as you trim this part and this part, again, you still want to leave about an inch border. Okay. This way, and an inch right here. Okay. Now if you have a scoring tool, well, before you do that, you want to kind of miter the corners so that when you fold them over, they don't like bulk up. So leave some space. Don't go all the way up to the edge. You want to leave a little bit of space. I feel like, let me just trim this bottom because I didn't cut the top exactly an inch. So let's trim this down. Okay. And then go ahead and just trim your sides so that when you fold it over, finish it off, it'll be nice and crisp. All right. Now I'm going to just take my scoring tool. If you don't have a scoring tool, no big deal. But I'm just going to go along the edges so that it'll be easier to fold. Okay, and then just kind of fold it up a little bit. Get it started. All the sides. Okay. And then I'm going to throw some double-sided tape in the mix.
Don't close the door.
Secure my edges just a little bit. Secure my edges just a little bit. That way. And get over here. And then this side. All right. Rip the piece off. Just get that there. Rip the piece off. Just get that there. Okay, and then a little tape as well. So I'm gonna do the sides first. And just peel the double-sided tape up. The cover. And then just add a little bit, because no tape got over here, like in this corner. I'm gonna just add just a little bit of glue to reinforce that. Okay, because again, this is your cover foundation. Okay, because again, this is your cover foundation. Okay, get that down. Good. And then do our other side. Get the corners, especially where none of the double-sided tape went, and then just go over the tape as well. It's an added layer of protection. Okay. Okay, get that in there. And then let's do our top and bottom. All of these supplies I got off Amazon. If you're watching it in real time, you know it's Amazon Prime. Journaling supplies. Okay. Go ahead and get that. And then the bottom. Okay. Okay. That locked in. So next folds. Okay. Okay. And make sure all of your edges are down. Okay, so now you have the outer cover of your book ready to roll. So now the next step is just to finish off the inside so that it's nice and neat. I'm going to just use the same color sheet. I'm going to make a monochromatic album this time. So this particular cardstock is Cricut brand. It's for like if you're using the 10 by 24 sheet, or mats rather. So I'm gonna just eyeball this, get a little pen, and I'm gonna just mark off where I want to cut it here. And then I think I might have to use my X-Acto knife because this part will not fit inside my cutter. Okay, let's move this to the side. Get the cutter. Save that piece because we will be using it for something else. And then I know that this is 8.5 inches. You can just double measure it. Yep. So I'm probably gonna do, I'm gonna cut this at maybe 8.25. So I'm going to use my mat here as my guide. And then I have a ruler. And let's see, 8.25 is going to be here. Oops. Get the rotary cutter. And just trim that up. So it didn't cut all the way through. I think I need to replace my blade. Okay. All right, so now we have our, to finish off our cover. See right here, I probably could have made it, I think I cut it a little bit too short when I trimmed the top, but it's fine because I'm sure I will cover that with some type of element as we begin decorating. So just go ahead and generously apply your glue. On your edges and then get some in the middle. Okay. And we are going to center it, smooth it down, smooth it down, and then the same thing again with your, scoring tool. Just kind of find where it's going to fold and then just gently help it so the paper doesn't tear. So I'm just kind of scoring it gently, and then again you can smooth it out. Okay, and then do the other side here. All right, and you have your basic album. If you need to add more glue in places, you can secure it, but that was so quick and easy. All right, and then it's all ready for you to decorate, customize, do all the things. If you want to learn how to do the inserts and pockets and all those things, please be sure to follow, because we will be coming back live and doing more craft with me to make it even more customized to you. So again, if you want the cutting instructions, the cutting guide, catch you on the next one.
Sorry, I didn't know you were going.